on the road and deep in the desert, the Predators are in Glendale looking to break a 6-game skid against the Coyotes. Inside the room, Ryan Ellis has 4 points this season against the Desert Dogs, hoping to add to that total tonight. And fresh up from Milwaukee and off a hat trick Friday, Victor Ståhlberg is back in the fold. And on the other side, the leading scorer for NHL D-men, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, ready for action. It's the Predators and Coyotes, next on Fox Sports Tennessee. From Glendale, Gila River Arena tonight, it's the Nashville Predators and the Arizona Coyotes wrapping up their regular season series. As usual, all of our telecasts are brought to you by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers. Predators out on the ice as you take a look at the Western Conference standing, and the Arizona Coyotes followed them out from the other gate just a little bit beforehand. Good evening, everybody, and it's a late evening, we know. Thank you for joining us. Pete Weber along with Stu Grimson. And the Predators come into this one with the 800-pound gorilla on their backs, Stu, a 6-game losing streak.
Yeah, really a tough stretch of hockey, worst stretch of hockey for the team this far along. But I'll tell you what, this is Shea Weber's team that is well settled. And at a time like this, who do you look to but the captain? And I'll tell you what, the captain is led. Let's have a look at his body of work over the last handful of games. Of course, the physical element is always there. Shea is a bear on the defensive side of the puck. And I'll tell you what, at the right moment, the opportune moment here, coming to the defensive partner, teammate, Roman Josi, Shea stands up and Shea does what's necessary. And, of course, the offensive touch is a mainstay to his game. Terrific power play goal right there. 5th in time on ice this year, 26-29. Blocked shots. He is among the tops in the NHL. Hits department, of course, you always expect that in his game. At 43 points, puts him at 8th among NHL D-men.
And a few minutes ago, Stu spent some time down on the ice with the captain.
Tough stretch of games over the last 6, but really when you look back, the caliber of the opponent you guys have been facing and some of the scores in those games, you guys really aren't that far from your A game, are you?
No, we're not. We're playing a lot of teams that are playoff ready, and I think we're right there, and hopefully tonight we break out.
As a captain, Shea, during a stretch like this, does it change your approach at all, or are you the same guy day in, day out?
Yeah, just try to be the same. Obviously, we're doing a lot more talking, more meetings right now, but we got to figure it out on the ice.
An opportunity here tonight to get things turned around. First game of a 4-game swing. Arizona's only won 1 of their last 12, but I suspect they still deserve your full attention and respect tonight.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, you don't respect your opponent, you're going to pay for it. So we know we've got to be ready and bring our A game.
Thanks for this, Shea. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
As you know, following the Predators and their recent trip to Metro New York City, the Coyotes traded away Keith Yandel, but they still have Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the blue line for them.
They're in full rebuild mode. That became apparent at the trade deadline this year. But note that Oliver Ekman-Larsson remains an Arizona Coyote. Why? Because he's the most important asset, the most valuable asset this group has, most likely. He is terrific on the offensive side of the puck. Of course, a great nose for the net, a terrific shot. 17 goals on the year. He leads all NHL defenders in that department. Leads Arizona in power play goals at 9. Leads Arizona power play points.
And our Toyota starting goaltenders tonight.
In net for the Nashville Predators here tonight, Pecorine, 23 of 25 shots. He stopped in a 3-1 loss versus Winnipeg. And just his second start for the Arizona Coyotes. Second NHL start, Louis Domingue. His first NHL start, he beat the Montreal Canadiens at Montreal 3-2, stopping 18 of 20 in that one. Why is that important? He's from there, a product of the QMJHL.
So there you have it, Predators and the Arizona Coyotes coming up in just a few moments' time. And yeah, maybe a few familiar faces you'll notice in the lineup for both sides tonight.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Nashville. By Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Fifth Third Bank. Stop by Fifth Third Bank to learn how you can be the seventh man. Fifth Third Bank. Member FDIC. And by Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt.
From inside the Gila River Arena in Glendale, Arizona, Predators and the Arizona Coyotes wrap up the 3-game regular season series tonight. And let's get to Stu's forward keys to this particular encounter.
3 elements I'll be looking for tonight's game, and we'll use a little alliteration to shake things up a little bit, change the mojo. Hunt pucks. Preds are on their game when they're tracking down pucks, turning pucks over, and feeding that transition. Hit the Coyotes. You do well to get this group back on their heels, come out especially with a physical start, but throughout and hang around the Arizona net front. Domingue, just his second start in the NHL here tonight at home for the Coyotes. You want to get to him early and often. Take away his vision if you can.
And we're underway now from Glendale as the puck is played up on the wall, knocked down by Captain Shane Doan. Forsberg tried to steal away. Chipchura blocked that effort. As the puck comes away from in front of the Nashville net, Forsberg got for Ribeiro. Ribeiro drops it back to Yossi. His shot deflected off Domingue. He knew not where. As Eret tries to tip it, and that knocked the mask off Domingue. Thus, a whistle stopping play.
Preds right back in transition. Doan with a bad angle chance. And the Preds are able to grab it up, head back the other way. You're going to see a shot right there from the slot. It looked to me like Domingue picks it up late. That's Roman Yossi. Quick little wrister. Forsberg's in and around the net front. You love the net front presence here in the early going. Clips Domingue up in and around the mask, and I thought he may have busted a clip on there. That was the reason for taking it off.
Quick shot off the pipe, rung there by Cody Franson. Right off the draw.
That is the signature release. Cody Franson, watch this. Draw one back. Terrific play by Fisher. No time at all. Franson cradles it, drags the middle, pumps once. Far post. Couple of good looks in the early going.
Coyotes getting the draw. Reeder tried to get it out. Held in Wilson. Here's Franson for a second try. Wide of the net. He evidently was looking for a redirection. Gagne back in the net to the left wing wall. And that at center ice. Stopped by Chipchura. It goes wide. Taken in and trying to drop it back. Neal got a piece of it. Stone couldn't keep it in as deep as he wished. Now coming around in front. Gagne trying to center. And finessed away by Seth Jones. Carrying the puck to center. Knocked down. Tried to sweep it in. Back come the Coyotes. Shinneman gets a return. His shot goes wide of Pecorine as he cut in, angling to his left side. Up the left board. Predators' Victor Stahlberg rejoining the team for the game here tonight. Cullen in the middle and Santorelli on the right wing. And back to get it for the icing call. Mattias Ekholm. Our injury report brought to you by Vanderbilt Sports Medicine. For Nashville, Kelly Yarncroke, Eric Nystrom, Victor Bartley, and Anton Dolchenkov. Yes, activated off injured reserve today. Arizona, Mikkel Bottker, Martin Hansel, injured reserve, Jamie McBain, Lori Korpikowski, and Connor Murphy off the scratches tonight. To the corner, and the puck comes out and is put onto the wall, and that by their acquisition from Chicago, Klaus Dahlbeck, who came over in the Antoine Vermette transaction. In on the Predators' left wing side, played back out, bringing the puck on, and that shot goes wide of the net, taken by Mark Arcobello, who has been around the league this year, including a stop with the Nashville Predators. Trying to swing it wide there. David Moss lost control of the stick. On the Predators' left wing, it is Stahlberg. That went into the skates of Santorelli, who leaves now for Cullen. Cullen comes on. Domingue puts it right back into the pizza pie slice there, and now Trombine's pass deflected deep into the zone, and this will be another icing call against Arizona.
As you mentioned, Pete, Victor Stahlberg with the recall here of late gets back into the mix for the Nashville Predators. Had a real good stretch of hockey, getting his game back on track at the AHL level. 2 hat tricks in his last 8 games out. I've talked to a lot of folks, including Coach Dean Evison down there. Paul Fitton has seen him play a bunch. Really getting his game in order, playing with a lot of pace. Playing with Arvidsson and Sissons down there, and playing in all kinds of special teams areas as well. So we'll see how it translates at the NHL level for Victor.
Sliding slow to the Nashville end as coming on, trying to make the play there. Comes up on the right board and is flipped out to center. Stone comes over, angled that right into the skates of his teammate Vitale, who dumps it in. Crombeen after it, followed up by Greg Cunningham. Cunningham played against the Predators in 2 games this year for the Boston Bruins. There's a shot broken up in front off Shea Weber.
Smart play by Weber. You see him, his stick is all tied up. He uses the skate to play that, keep it away from the Nashville net.
Offside called here on the Preds. So Stallberg just rejoining the club on this trip. Friday against the Grand Rapids Griffins, he had his second AHL hat trick of the season. That second goal there tied it up late, and then he went to the net hard in overtime to win it.
17 points over 20 games. 11 of those are goals. So you like that Victor Stallberg finding the groove. Tough season for Victor. Injured in training camp. He's on a conditioning stint down to Milwaukee. Injured again, completely novel injury down there. Sets him back, kind of a longer-term situation, but a chance to get it all together and play some solid hockey here to close out the year.
Yeah, he absorbed a knee-on-knee hit down there in his second stint. As the puck is tapped ahead down by Beck. Coming on, a penalty about to be called in any case. And on the delayed penalty, Domingue and the Coyotes defense keep the Predators from scoring. And at 3:31, holding is going to be the call.
Great job by Taylor Beck. Does a terrific job.
33, minor penalty.
Pumps that in behind the defender, Gormley. Arizona defender, and still finds a way to, in spite of the hold, take it to the net. Just outside his reach, not able to get a good piece of that, but that's what you like about Taylor Beck's game. I'll tell you, a strong skater. He can blow open lanes and just muscle his way to the net through people. That's what Coach Laviolette likes about him. Alongside Gostad, Bork on the other side.
Weber and Yossi flip-flop on the points as the puck is cleared down ice by Arizona. Craig Cunningham starts out as a penalty-killing forward, working along with Joe Vitale. Drop back for Neal. It is Neal and Forsberg flanking Fisher. Forsberg a shot. Stick went flying out of the hands of an Arizona defender. Predators get possession back to Shea Weber. Yossi. Backhand pass to Forsberg. Toward the side of the net right now is Neal. He turns inside, shoots. Going after that rebound was Fisher crashing down, and Louis Domingue keeps them out.
Down low play off the half wall. Watch Forsberg there, left side of your screen. He's going to throw it down. Quick little pivot by Neal, and you like Fisher coming right through from the low slot, pressing into the paint. More people is better. If you're wearing the white jerseys for the Preds, more people at the net front. Tougher to manage, tougher to deal with if you're the penalty-killing Arizona Coyotes. And speaking of the penalty killing, over the last 4 games, they are 90%, doing a pretty efficient job when at a man disadvantage.
The puck ripped up. Predators with their second power play unit out. Ellis and Jones at the points as the Coyotes wrestle it away. Chipchura off the back of Shane Doan. Predators come back up 3-on-3. Nudged over for Ribeiro. Ellis, the last man in, coming on. Try to put one in front and knocked down there. Drawing another penalty is Craig Smith. Delayed penalty, a second one up coming on the Coyotes. Extra attacker is out. Ellis tried to put it in front. Colin Wilson, a backhand try, turned back around. And now Ellis with the shot, and that goes wide of the net, and the rebound comes back out across the line.
Team losing precious 3-on-3 time, 45-on-3 time as they play, Pete. A little surprised that they just didn't hand over possession to the Coyotes the minute they knew that additional minor penalty was coming up.
As we had a look there at Jim Playfair on the County bench.
26, minor penalty, hooking.
So hooking on Stone at 5:01.
Yeah, all tied up. Smith with a grade A opportunity if it's not for the hook. You can see the play in from behind. So again, for the next 31 seconds, Preds will be at a 5-on-3 advantage here. Set up inside the Arizona zone to start.
They had 2 shots on goal in the 129 preceding ones. Now 5-on-3. Out of that corner to Weber coming on. Pushed his shot wide. And Ellis lunged but could not keep it in the zone.
Yeah, that's a tough play. I'll tell you, when you miss out the far side like that and you don't have somebody shoring up the side, it's just like a breakout for the other group.
Given back to Weber. Skates over from the wall. Ellis gets it back. 2 seconds left of the 2-man. That will do it for the 2-man. And that shot deflected away by Domingue.
Smart play by Domingue as well. He catches it blocker side, steers it into the deep corner as far from the Arizona net as possible. Looks like...
And now a penalty here on the Predators, Mike Ribeiro.
Ribeiro back to Weber. There you see Domingue spots it, loses his stick in the process. And then just out to the left side of your screen, you see that little hold by Ribeiro. Battle for a loose puck, trying to reclaim possession.
So 4-on-4, if nothing else is called.
Here's a better look at the Ribeiro hold. Just a little tug on the inside sleeve. Dahlbeck is going for that loose puck. Cheating ever so subtly, Mike Ribeiro to gain possession, but busted in the process. 4-on-4.
To the right of Pecorino. Gagne and Erad up front. As the puck is rolled over to the right wing corner and deflects back of the Nashville net. John Moore picked up in the deal from the New York Rangers. Ekholm finds his way out to center and gets Cullen breaking to the net. Stolberg pass just behind him, poked away by Domingue. Swinging around trying to get a shot at that was Mattias Ekholm. 55 seconds perhaps of 4-on-4 remaining. And a brief power play for Arizona. Still 0-0. Chip Chura going wide. Coming on Dome. Hounded right away by Cullen. Here's Oliver Ekman-Larsson. His shot held in the glove of Pecorino. So with the 4-on-4 situation, having another 40 seconds to go, we'll take this time out. It is 0-0 with 6:21 gone.
About Victor Stahlberg's game. Play from Cullen over to Stahlberg, but you're going to see Stahlberg taking the lane to the inside post. All speed, all power. Cullen looking to lay it in, and then off the defender it goes. Otherwise, grade A opportunity for Victor Stahlberg. Here's a little ISO on Stahlberg. You see him at work. He really is one of the pure skaters. One of the fastest skaters in the game today. And again, if you can find him in a good spot like that one, terrific opportunity.
Predators almost push it off the face-off, but Shane Doan there approached and stripped of the puck. Fisher tried to force it in. Yossi around Doan, got it over to Colin Wilson to sort of swat it down. Wilson trying to get around John Moore.
Tough play for Wilson, backpedaling towards the wall, trying to knock it out of the air while under pressure.
Following it down into the zone, Moore on the right wing. Doan in 3 seconds. The Coyotes will have a 37-second man advantage. Their first of the night. Now they do. Still 0-0. Predators have outshot Arizona 6-2. Dumped into the zone by Ekholm. Red starting out. Rostad and Bort. Ekman-Larsson left it back. And that was offside. Come on, guys. As the puck is dumped back in the Arizona end.
Keep your eyes on 23 out there. Ekman-Larsson, quarterback on the power play. Currently 6th in the NHL, 21%. Pretty effective on the man advantage.
Power play over. Coyotes did not get a shot on that brief opportunity with the man advantage. Gagne's pass picked off. Franson sending in Smith, poked away. Comes to Ribeiro. His shot blockered away by Domingue.
Nice play by Franson at the blue. Feeds it into Craig Smith.
Stolen away by Smith from Young, and now comes back to the blue line. Forsberg straight across, off balance the shot in front, and that blocked by John Moore. and comes rolling in toward the Nashville goal. 8:20 gone, first period. Forsberg trying to track it down, but not in time to stop an icing call against the Predators.
Like Craig Smith on this shift, we talked about hunting pucks pursuit and turning pucks over. There's a great opportunity, a great look for Smith. It's all second effort. Play transitions, you're going to see him again. Pressure from behind. Like the pace in Craig Smith's game here in the early going.
A shot from the outside by Campbell, stopped by Rene. Neal turns, floats it to the line off the glove there of Reeder, but the Coyotes get it back. Campbell, right side Doan. In the corner, Chipchura tied up.
The other guy with the long name.
That's right. Chipchura, the Edmonton boy, and now coming on, it is Josi. His shot trying to go for redirection off to the side for Mike Fisher. Puck is just jabbed out towards center. Josi prevented a break for Shane Doan. Fisher comes on. Right side, the shot. That got interrupted there by an Arizona stick. Ribeiro. There he ran into Dahlbeck. The puck comes out at center. Moss gives it up down the middle. And there's a shot by Arcobello. And a rebound try coming on as well. Turned back by Pekka Rinne. Time again, the former San Jose Shark had that rebound opportunity. Thrown in now by Moss. McGinn, the man in pursuit deep.
Nice play by Rinne. Quick little out to Cody Franson. Preds are back on the prowl.
And offside, trying to enter the Coyote zone. Nashville.
Cullen with the outlet pass. Santorelli's bobbling a puck, trying to get control of it. Stood up at the enemy blue line. Great play, great hit by Michael Stone. Squarely, roundly sits Santorelli down on the seat of his pants and turns the puck over. And we'll face it off at the Arizona blue.
Finding it there and just tapping it out, John Moore. Stahlberg flips it in and goes off in pursuit of it. Santorelli and Stahlberg in the corner with Gormley. Stahlberg thought he had it blocked, and it comes back to the Nashville zone. From the right wing. Look deep. Deming backhands it. Gormley onto the board's right wing. Franson chops it low for Stahlberg. Stahlberg and more. Stahlberg turns. A shot deflecting off Deming's stick, which was down. And now the stick breaks in the hands of Stahlberg. He didn't realize it right away. And there's the puck for Santorelli. Santorelli had no choice there but to sweep it down for Gostad. Preds in the midst of a line change. Try to get around Dahlman there, and that one is into the blue paint where Deming finessed it away. Dahlbeck up the board. Gostad tried to wind it down, and now Dahlbeck clears it out of play with 11:01 gone here in the second. Predators and the Coyotes are 0-0. Shots on goal, 8-5 Nashville.
Nashville is Coach Laviolette's fourth stop on the NHL circuit, previously with the New York Islanders, the Hurricanes, the Philadelphia Flyers. Talked with the coach about today's outing versus Arizona. He referenced the Winnipeg loss and said, really, if there's any upside in all that, you come into this building, a lesser-ranked opponent, and they've really got your attention. Anticipates his group will play an urgent brand of hockey here tonight, coming off the loss versus Winnipeg.
Josi tees off, and that shot did skip a little bit, but really not traffic directly in the goaltender's way.
Well, transition from Weber to Josi on the left side. I think the traffic starting to filter back that way, but I agree with you. Sure didn't take the eyes of Deming away as Josi's making that play towards the Arizona net.
Faceoff is swung on the boards up the right side. Erat tried to get it out. And now down the right wing, Smith with the long blast off the boards. Glove by Domingue. It's like he was waiting for a whistle.
Smart little play by Forsberg at the line, too. You like that. He's being closed off, gains the blue, and then makes a little outlet pass over to that man, Craig Smith. Gives something Smith can skate into, and Smith is off to the races. Like that these two guys have reformed the first line with Ribeiro down the middle. Smith has 12 points his last 11 games. Really like Forsberg's game versus Winnipeg. We had a lot to talk about there.
Doan, and down the right side, Chipchura spins on his backhand, broken up in front by Colin Wilson. And now tipped right with Erad in front. The shot taken by Campbell. Up the wall, left side. And that blast taking off high. Even Rene at his height couldn't reach it. Off the right board, Chipchura comes back yet again, and that shot by Dahlbeck blocked in front. Held on to Doan. His shot, glove stop Pecorino, and that might be the best sign Predators fans could hope for, to see an early glove hand save by Pecorino.
Shane Doan giving the Preds all kinds of concern here in the early going. Weber responsible for Doan. There you see him without the puck. Or sorry, without his stick. He lost his stick in an earlier battle for a loose puck with Shane Doan.
To the right side again of Rene. Shinneman diving in there, and finally the puck is pulled away. Jabbed back in by Gagne. Up the wall, and as a tire was blown by Shinneman, and the puck taken in by Beck.
What a nice pickup at the far line by Gostad. Puck thrown behind him.
And right off the wall, glove there by Domingue.
Head coach Dave Tippett of the Arizona Coyotes has divided his NHL coaching career almost equally in half. First 6 years of his career in Dallas, and now into his 6th season behind the Coyotes bench. The majority of his playing career, 721 games, was spent in, Pete, one of your favorite haunts?
Yes.
He's a Hartford Whaler, a former Hartford Whaler, folks. All hockey roads flow through.
It's unbelievable. That is the case. The College of Coaches.
The College of Coaches, the once mighty Whale.
Down in the corner, and the puck flipped for Stahlberg. He was made sure before he backhanded that to Cullen. Santorelli stayed onside. That shot, a rebound given up. And let's see what that whistle was, playing the puck with a high stick.
Elbow the call.
And here we go.
Ian Walsh.
Yeah. At 12:44, elbow the call. David Moss. So the Predators get their third man advantage, the Tennessee Lottery power play. Trying to break this 0-0 deadlock. Starting with Smith, Ribeiro, and Wilson across the front. Backed up by Ellis and Wilson. As the puck is taken out by Joe Vitale. Behind the Nashville net. Stop there, Rene. Seth Jones lobbed it into the midsection there of Ellis, and Jones comes behind the net to start the breakout. Jones dropped it back, and that's the risk there. It's a blind pass, and sometimes it can go awry. Or off target for that matter. As the puck taken there by Greg Cunningham and cleared.
Yeah, and we've seen the Preds miss execution on that play. Again, you like that drop pass, but it's less a pass and more like a leave, and I think that's why it kind of jams up Craig Smith and has given the Preds problems in the past.
Wilson for Jones from some traffic. Right side, Ellis, and looking in front, that tipped up into the protective netting in the corner.
Here's the penalty that sets up this man advantage, and this is, again, inside the Preds zone, underneath the goal line. Moss with a pretty stiff shot on Ryan Ellis, and then great little pass across by Seth Jones. Finds Ellis, and there you see Ellis. He's got the stick cocked, head up, looking for that diagonal opportunity. I believe a Pred in front gets a piece of that. It's up into the net.
Face-off out of the circle, comes back for Josi. Tried to settle that puck down, so too did Forsberg. It ends up coming back to the Nashville end.
Yeah, Josi's trying to go right back down to the half wall to Forsberg. He's well checked, and it turns over there.
Nice keep in Forsberg at the line. Then Dahlbeck is able to clear it. Dahlbeck among the fruits of their trading of Antoine Vermette. And deal with Chicago, and a strange bounce out of the corner. Predators try to get right on it. James Neal ahead of Fisher. Ekman-Larsson drills it down ice.
Smart piece of penalty killing by Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Looks like he's going to go around the wall with it, but kind of comes around the back of the net, gets a little daylight, sees a lane, sends it the length.
Trying to get to Josi breaking in. Some snow goes up, but the puck is picked up by Domingue.
Preds fans, it's time for Hot Ticket Time, presented by Hunt Brothers Pizza. Right now, buy a Gary Force Acura Club end zone ticket for the game on Tuesday, March 24th against the Montreal Canadiens for just $40. That's an $18 savings. To order, call 615-770-7800 or visit NashvillePredators.com/Hot Ticket Time. This offer's good through the end of tonight's game, so please order now.
Another power play unit put out here with 9 seconds to go. But the puck is cleared down on the fly off to the right of Pecorino.
A new power play unit featuring recently recalled Victor Stalberg.
Cross ice, they got it through to Cullen. Time over on the power play as he dumped it into the corner. Predators managed one shot on that power play. Puck comes between the point men, so Cody Frankson gets his giddy-up going. And then zips a pass to Stalberg.
Nice little up, great play by Franson. Great vision to see the play develop. Finds Stalberg diagonally through half the length of the ice.
Moss, who had served that penalty, goes after the puck in the corner. He got hit there by Stalberg. Stalberg and Arcobello there. Now it is Ellis putting the pressure on. In the trapezoid, flipped around by Rene. Cullen did not get it there around John Moore. Here's Santorelli cutting across the line. Santorelli forced wide, and Gormley got the stick on that puck as it deflected out of play. 15:40 gone, first period. Predators and the Coyotes. 0-0 in Glendale.
Ryan Ellis, 3 games back from a recent nagging lower body injury. Appears to have that in his rearview mirror. He's had the Coyotes number this year. He's really played terrific on the extra man advantage. Shootout goal versus the Coyotes. Terrific feed from Neal down the back door to Ryan Ellis. 2 games versus the Coyotes, 4 points in those 2 games, and adding to his offensive numbers as he goes, Ryan Ellis.
Fisher, a backhander across the front of the goal mouth. Weber with a follow-up, and that one missed the net. Bouncing on Josi, kept it inside.
That was the high heater out the far side.
Stepping around, Joe Vitale shovels the puck. Taken in. Erat. His try getting it back to Stone was broken up, and Josi skates out with it off the stick of Mike Fisher down the left board. Trying to feed it out off that wall and then cleared down ice by Chipchura. 3:36 remaining in the first period. Predators have outshot Arizona 13-8. Josi skating up as he shook free of Shane Doan. Pass is picked off on the right board. Ribeiro. He wanted to put it back to the point. There's only one problem. Nobody was there yet. Dumped in now by Ekholm. Dahlbeck and chopped around Ellis. Icing is waved off. Forsberg back to get it. Shinneman came back quickly to pick up Forsberg. From the left wing side, trying to tap it in Ellis. Ekholm backing him up. Shinneman's pass taken straight away by Craig Smith. Smith flips it over for Ribeiro. Ribeiro with a pass that was blocked. Dahlbeck comes back up with it for Arizona.
Strong defensive play by Dahlbeck. Takes away the middle of the ice on Ribeiro. Ribeiro's attempted pass, blocked. Dahlbeck gets it going back the other way.
Forsberg lost the puck on the sidewall. Reeder for Gagne. Sam Gagner dumps it in. 2:26 remaining in the first. Rene put it off to the side. No one there for Nashville. Quick shot was blocked away by Neal. Neal got in the way of that try of time again.
A little miscommunication between Ekholm and Rene. It turns over, but Ekholm does a great job with the block to get the Preds going back the other way.
Fed out of there and thrown down the side. John Moore made the breakout try. Now Moss puts it in front. Predators try to get it out, but it was held in. Good play by Stone, and now Arcobello with the try from point blank. Held by Pekka Rinne with 1:52 remaining in the first.
Good look for Marco Arcobello. 61 games this year for 4 different teams, believe it or not. In an Oilers jersey, briefly in a Predators jersey, Pittsburgh, and then lands with the Arizona Coyotes, where he's on a pretty good clip. 5 goals and assists, 6 points over 11 games.
Scored in his first game with Nashville, but twice a waiver pickup this season. As that puck came right into Ming, last moment, swept it away.
Seen some guys move, but 4 different NHL jerseys in a single year.
Let's move it. Gagner backhander wide to Rene's stick side. Puck not secured. Fired back to the point. Stone trying to get some room in which to shoot. Gagner off to the side, flipped wide by Shinneman. In the corner, Gagner centers it, and that shot goes wide by Reeder. Backhanded up the wall. Beck could not get to it, but it comes back to center ice.
Beck does well to tie up Ekman-Larsson, though, and able to tie up the stick. It's out of trouble. The Preds out of trouble temporarily.
And a whistle here. I think too many men is being signaled by linesman Darren Gibbs. Yeah, that's the case.
Bench minor, Nashville. Too many men on the ice.
1904.
Yeah, a tough one to take at this time. You can tell by the look of consternation on Coach Laviolette's face. Preds are back on their heels inside the defensive zone in scramble mode for a good stretch of that time.
Well, Cody Franson will serve the bench minor, and the Coyotes will get a power play here.
Franson, for whatever reason, was extracted. It's going to be James Neal is going to serve that bench minor.
All right. Yeah, why send a defenseman in there? As the puck is tipped to the line, not out. Fisher steals and dumps it in. Fisher and Cullen on the PK. 36 seconds left. First period. It's 0-0. Second power play of the period for the Coyotes. Erat pass was tipped. Doan comes back to pick up. Taking it across the line, fading over right Doan. Ekman-Larsson, center point, kicked away in front.
Terrific play by Rene. Surprised that he actually has vision on that. Flashes out the left pad.
And tipped up over the crossbar this time. Erat on the board. 3 seconds to go in the period. A shot wide of the net. A follow-up comes wide, and the period will run out with 1:05 left on the penalty. Coming up in our intermission for you, our Mercedes-Benz of Nashville intermission interview, we'll have Phillips Twisted Wrister with Stu Grimson. Highlights and stats. 0-0 at the end of one period in Glendale as the shots on goal. Nashville 13, the Arizona Coyotes with 10, with a power play having extra time to run in the second.
This Nashville Predators broadcast is brought to you by Bridgestone. Your journey, our passion. By Monroe Carroll Jr. Children's Hospital at Vanderbilt. And by your Middle Tennessee Toyota dealers.
All right, we start the second period here in just a moment. There'll be 1:05 remaining of a power play for the Arizona Coyotes. Shea Weber having a discussion with referee Kevin Pollock before the puck is dropped. Chipchura Gagne and Erat up front. Predators do need to get somebody in the box with 65 seconds remaining. And now James Neal's. Oh yeah, okay. I'll go over there.
Go back to first period action. Show you those too many men. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and well removed from the Predators bench. That's a downer. End of the period. Tough way to start the second period.
So underway now with the second. And Erat, the Predators, throws across ice. Gagne looking perhaps for a return. Chipchura couldn't get there either. It's up sort of crisscrossed in front of Pecorine.
3-on-3 battle down low.
Chipchura fades up. Gagne's pass tipped by Weber, came across. Almost a gimme there. But Ekman-Larsson missed the net. Ekman-Larsson again, you heard that thump off the pads of Pecorine. 20 seconds remaining in the advantage for the Coyotes as Chipchura keeps it in. Gagne out for John Moore. Ekman-Larsson to Moore, almost straight away. His wrister blocked in front and fired off the stick of Moore, it turns out, back to the Coyote end.
Play at the net by Moore. Terrific block. Just above the paint, Shea Weber.
Power play over. Coyotes managed 2 shots on net. It is still 0-0. Shots are 13-11 Nashville. As Dolan with the try, deflected wide. Shinneman tried to put it behind the net. Yossi onto the board left wing. Philip Forsberg comes out and passes over to Weber. At the blue line, left wing, Ribeiro. Cutting in, Neal. Neal turns around from the right corner. Franson flips one toward the net, blocked in front.
Play by Dahlbeck. Franson with that quick release of his. Dahlbeck just turns the skate, directs it away to the right corner.
Pass off the skates of Neal, and that will create an offside with 1:54 gone. This week, Big East basketball has returned to Madison Square Garden to see who'll be crowned the conference champion and earn the automatic invitation to the Big Dance. The Big East tournament presented by New York Life begins Wednesday. The only place to see it is Fox Sports 1, or you can stream it live on Fox Sports Go. On the face-off, just outside the line, Santorelli forces it in. Throws a shot on that is sticked aside by Domingue. Then Santorelli blocked an initial outlet pass. Chipped at the line toward Moss. Santorelli just outside the line sends it back in. Gormley has it there. Sent in off the stick of Shinneman. Left there by Seth Jones. Onto the board left wing. And stolen back away. And there's the shot by Moss off the goalpost. David Moss hit the goalpost at 2:28 of the second period.
Terrific feed. Most of the width of the Preds defensive zone. Moss with a quick little snapshot on his off wing. Blang it goes.
Down the left wing side, Vitale tries to settle it down. Turns against Ellis, and then Crombeen tried to center. Now from in front of backhander goes wide off Rene. So getting inside on that play was Craig Cunningham. And now on the side, you have Crombeen and Fisher going at it. Crombeen and Fisher at 3:02 of the second.
This one starts well removed from the play. These two guys come together, and I'll tell you, when the mitts hit the ice, Fisher knows exactly what he's doing. A tough customer, pound for pound. Crombeen stands in there, holds his own.
So Fisher and Crombeen, as Stu said, away from the play. He'd already gone over to the opposite side.
Left side of your screen, Crombeen and Fisher come together there in a battle for a loose puck. Fisher with the heavy hit just as Crombeen's kind of throwing it down. You almost get the sense Fisher went out looking to get that started. And for this reason, Nashville over the last handful of minutes in the first period and probably to open this period, been a little bit flat. Assistant captain Mike Fisher out there to see if he can't spark some life into this group. And I tell you, when you're in that kind of a funk, it's somebody needs to do something dynamic. If you put a scrap in the category of dynamic.
Now, oftentimes, I can't. Weber. And his stick broke on him as he flipped one toward the Arizona net.
The stick count will be 2 busted for Weber tonight so far.
And there's a try by Gaustad. Flung it toward the net when the puck came free. And the Predators get the first goal of the game after 11 consecutive games of allowing the first at 3:26 of the second period. Paul Gaustad puts in his third of the season.
Pretty harmless looking play the way this one develops. Pressure applied down low by Taylor Beck, and then the puck thrown around. Taylor just throws it there, actually mishits that puck. His shot gets halfway to the net, and then it's Gaustad. Watch right here. Misses. Gaustad wheels, gets a good piece of that. Domingue never sees it coming, beats him through the legs. Gaustad's third of the year.
So the Predators break that bugaboo.
His third of the season scored by number 28.
It's 1-0 Nashville. Skating 5 aside as it was fighting majors for Fisher and Crombie at 3:02. The goal coming at 3:26. Trying to cut inside Reeder. Forced behind the net. Now out of the opposite corner. Ekman Larsson, a shot that did get through. And then covered up by Pecorine. 3:57 gone. So Predators tally the game's first goal.
Take another look at this. Taylor Beck is the one that really gets this started. He does a terrific job. That's him forcing the puck right there. Keeps on it, on the cycle. Gaustad, and then look at it. Turns over to Taylor Beck. He gets it half the way to the net. Gaustad wheels fire. Terrific job by Gaustad and Beck working together in tandem. Tracking pucks, hunting pucks, turning pucks over, and converting.
Puck flipped a little bit wide and back out to the blue line. Across it comes Dahlbeck. That tipped up high and out of play.
Fans, you can now instantly purchase game tickets with a text message.
Third rounder from Chicago, 2011 is when Chicago took Dahlbeck, and as you mentioned earlier, Pete, acquired at the deadline in exchange for Antoine Vermette. Vermette goes to Chicago, divisional opponent of the Preds. I like that trade for Chicago. I really do. Antoine Vermette, a coveted player, a guy that can play up and down your lineup and contribute offense as he does.
To the blue line, Ekman Larsson turning. Ends up giving it to Seth Jones. Ekman Larsson fouled it down. Kept it in. Now Seth Jones with Arcabello. Arcabello fired it wide across the front of the goal mouth. From the right side, Stone, a shot missing the net by a wide margin. Stone comes down. Got a little piece of that puck. Gaustad passed to the line where Ekman Larsson held it in against Beck. Around the wall from Ty McGinn. McGinn to the trapezoid. Flipped it out front. Seth Jones there. Poked away from Bourque. Given to Cody Franson by Paul Gaustad. Lob to the Arizona line. Up on the right wing side. Sending in Chipchura. Erat to the net. Puck goes wide. Swept up Shane Doan. Turning there. That deflected twice. That spinning try by Dahlbeck. Doan comes out of the left corner. Looking toward the net. That blocked by Gaustad. It's been a long stint out there on the ice for this Predators line. As that shot knocked down to the side of the net, Chipchura turned, couldn't get it through. Falling down at the line and getting the puck out of there. Could be a hand pass called against Nashville. As we get to our Coors Light Hold Hard Facts for tonight's game, and it involves that man, Phil Housley. Most goals by a D-man for the franchise here in Arizona now, which started in Winnipeg. That record owned by Phil Housley.
Oliver Ekman Larsson hunting down that record. He sits about 6 goals back at this point, 17 on the year. Leads all NHL defenders in that department. And yeah, Coach Housley, a Winnipeg Jet from 1990 to 93, 259 points over his 232 games with the Jets.
And celebrating is Phil Housley, his birthday here tonight. So happy birthday, Coach Housley.
How many? Would you share that on air?
5-1.
5-1.
Puck is taken by Shinneman, breaking in off to the right side. Reeder keeping the puck in at the blue line, and that shot is held. Pecorino got that one off the stick of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. So it is 1-0 Nashville, 6:05 gone here in the second period. Paul Gaustad with the first goal of tonight's game, his third goal of the season, and the Predators are in front. Reds up 1-0 thanks to Paul Gaustad's third of the year tonight on Fox Sports Live on Fox Sports 1. For other NHL games tonight, we'll have highlights from across the league. 3 more tickets punched to the big dance. Who's primed to pull an upset when the madness begins? Huge NFL names continue to hit the market with less than 24 hours before free agency begins. That's tonight on Fox Sports Live. And there's no larger name than Ndamukong. You gotta admit, that's a huge name. Puck is poked out from Forsberg. Played across by Gagne. And they say the Predators offside, trying to enter the Arizona zone. So Domingue, after giving up that goal at 3:26 of the period, his goalless streak broken after 106 minutes, 28 seconds.
Just his second NHL start. St. Hyacinthe, Quebec native, 6'3", 210 pounds. Louis Domingue, looking solid in the early going.
Played 3 years with Patrick Waugh as his head coach for the Quebec Remparts. As the puck comes back out on Stone. And, you know, he's played this year. Here he is playing well in the NHL. He's played ECHL time this season, in addition to the American Bowl.
Split the year last year between the ECHL and the AHL.
And this will be an icing against the Coyotes.
This is worth noting. There's only 4 players in the NHL that meet this criteria. 140 plus hits, 130 plus blocks. 2 of those 4 people are suited up in this contest right here tonight. Shea Weber has done that. Michael Stone has done that. Shea Weber's got 43 points on the year. He's 8th among NHL scoring D in that department.
And as all the rumors were flying before the trade deadline, one of those guys we thought might be here too. Dan Girardi allegedly was going to be the centerpiece of a trade for Keith Yandle. Turned out not to be the case. So on the icing, they come back to the Coyote zone. 13:01 to go in the second. Predators have scored on their only shot on net in this period. As that puck tipped out of play.
Note
the birthday boy retrieves it.
Note Taylor Beck out there left side. Colin Wilson in the middle. Neal on the right side. That's not a combination we've seen tonight. And I'm sorry, I can't provide you a good explanation.
Draw one back.
Oh, great up from Ryan Ellis.
Now Neal with the try, and Domingue holds that one as Colin Wilson was providing some traffic in front.
Yeah, good little look for James Neal, but it's Ryan Ellis that gets it all started. Watch the heads-up play by Ellis. Diagonal pass. The entire defensive zone of the Preds, and then outlet pass from Neal. Sorry, back over to Neal. Neal from the outside. He loves that shot. Off the opposite foot. Quick little snapshot in stride. See him fool a lot of NHL goaltenders from that position.
Well, Mike Fisher still in the box for the major. results in a little bit of shuffling here.
That would be
Maybe
the
some
explanation.
shoveling also, but
That would be the explanation for Beck out there.
there's not a lot
Good
of
for you.
reason
Pieced
for
it all
shoveling
together.
here as that shot from Cullen is deflected away. But maybe some shuffling. Here's Cullen trying to throw it in front with a backhand with Stahlberg. Moss couldn't break free of Stahlberg.
I'll tell you, if Shea Weber breaks another stick, he may resort to a shovel.
Yes. Santorelli, some room. Skating in the shot, rebound left in front. Moss didn't clear it. It is Santorelli who retrieves and keeps it in deep.
I like that play. Strong bid by Santorelli. I like all the more Matty Ekholm going hard to the inside post.
Here's Ellis. In very deep in the corner. Santorelli had Stahlberg in front. No area to pass the puck to him. Carried ahead by John Moore. Rene backhands it. Ellis up the right side. To the Coyote zone. Klostolbeck. Staying away from the forechecking of Gabriel Borg. From the Nashville bench area. Fired back in there by Gaustad. Domingue ventured out of his net. Puck stolen away by Beck, but comes up for Shane Doan. Into the skates of Marty Erat. He rifles it in off the stick of Pecorine. Chipchura, right corner. Falls down under the pressure from Paul Gaustad. Franson is there on one side, Bork on another. And it comes free for Seth Jones.
Oh, we got another scrape.
Yep. Chipchura and Gaustad. It wasn't a long one, was it?
No, it was not. Chipchura actually singles out Paul Gaustad. Like Fisher, the altercation before. I think Chipchura's trying to get something going for his group. Taking on a much bigger man in Paul Gaustad. Gaustad ultimately obliges and does get the better of Chipchura. Looks like he may have clipped him early. See a battle for a loose puck. Left of Pecorine deep in the corner. And then you see these two guys just hanging back there. That's Gaustad. That's Chipchura. And clearly, Chipchura, he gets clipped early. Gaustad buckles him and gets the better of him at the end of the day. Credit Chipchura for standing in there, signaling Gaustad out. But he pays a price for doing so.
Thing is, who do you like to have out on the draw in this situation for Nashville? Defensive zone.
I like number 28. Number 28 would most frequently be out there, but he's currently unavailable.
So the guy who previously was unavailable, Mike Fisher, will take his spot.
Who's equally serviceable inside the face-off circle. There's a win.
And Shea Weber with a backhand clear. Each getting majors, Gaustad and Chipchura for fighting.
5 minutes each for fighting. Time of the penalties, 9-12.
Oliver Ekman-Larsson rifled that one around Erat. And Yossi wins the race for the icing.
Want to take you back and show you that Santorelli chance we saw just a little bit earlier. You're going to see play transition in neutral ice right here. That's Ekholm that collects it right there. He's going to make a little outlet pass to Santorelli. Then he's going to bust right down the middle of the ice. Activates inside post. Good shot from Santorelli. Ekholm ultimately gets frozen out there, but I like that. That's hungry hockey. Do that effectively. Do that consistently. It'll fall for you.
Behind the net, Colin Wilson. Ekman-Larsson got in the way, and Ekman-Larsson lost his stick in the process, and a try by Fisher deflected. Here's Erat coming on with Vitale. Erat shot blocked by Weber. Doan puts it behind the net. Up the left wall. Erat at the hash mark, pushed back by Shea Weber. Out toward Colin Wilson. Kicked by Fisher. Held, however, by Vitale. And a shot toward the net, blocked by Fisher. James Neal could not get it out. Vitale with the try, and taken from in front of the Nashville net by Roman Josi. Lobbed in then, Colin Wilson. Predators lead at 1-0. Paul Gaustad, he had the goal. And he participated in a fight. Here's Reeder flipping it in. Lee back with a Nashville goal. Forsberg and Ribeiro, and a quick behind-the-back return for Forsberg. Tripped up by Shinneman as he came across the line.
Nice little neutral ice exchange there between Ribeiro and Forsberg.
Tipped out of play. 10:52 has been played in the second as Shea Weber hit his former teammate Marty Erat. Paul Gostad has the Predators in the lead. Predators up 1-0 with 9:08 to go in the second. Joined live from the bench by assistant coach Kevin McCarthy. Kevin, how much of a weight does that feel off the shoulders to get the first goal tonight?
Well, obviously, you try not to talk about it, but obviously the guys know, how long it's been since we scored that first goal, and obviously, getting the first one there was a big relief, like you said, and I thought our game has picked up since then.
Playing solid stretches of hockey without question, Coach, but you look at the opponent here tonight, they're inclined not to go away, these Phoenix Coyotes, in spite of their lack of success lately.
Well, I think that's one thing that happens. I think you get in that situation where you play with really no pressure, and you just go out there and play play hard, and sometimes we're more dangerous than teams that are fighting for a playoff spot.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Puck intercepted at the line. Chance for Nashville. Back to Forsberg. He gives it across for Ellis. Fired it just wide of Craig Smith, who was in front. Ribeiro to Forsberg, held by Domingue, and Smith providing traffic in front, along with Ryan Ellis.
Ellis activates way up into the play. Terrific play here. Ribeiro back to Forsberg. Forsberg diagonally across. Ellis is looking to find Smith inside. I'm not sure if somebody didn't get a stick on that and skipped it up. It appeared to go over the stick of Craig Smith as Ellis whistles it through the slot. Great little passing play, great little exchange in front of the Arizona net.
Neal for Yossi. High shot came on with some traffic in front. Wilson backhands it. Domingue just ahead of Mike Fisher. And on the board, left wing side, Neal the active stick. Freeing that one up. Fisher. Forced wide by Andrew Campbell, the defenseman. Weber toward the net, broken up, and taken away, but a little bit slowly or more slowly than they would have liked. David Moss couldn't get that cleanly.
Well, this pleases a coach in any event. You're getting your looks, but you're playing all kinds of time inside the offensive zone, gathering momentum as you go.
Wide of the net, put onto the board, slowed down a little bit. Campbell trying to track it down, so too Dahlbeck, but taken by Wilson. Right away from him. Erat's pass fluttered up a little. Dahlbeck knocked down Colin Wilson. And here now Santorelli trying to get it in front for Cullen. Stahlberg out to the point, lunging to keep it in, Cody Franson. Right wing corner, and Cullen throws one. That's taken away by Vitale. Vitale for Erat, offside the Coyotes. 13 minutes gone, second period.
Preds fans, the Predators are back in Nashville on Tuesday, March 17th, to take on the Minnesota Wild on a Nissan 2 for Tuesday. Receive 2 lower-level tickets, 2 hot dogs, 2 sodas, and a Nashville Predators car flag for just $99. The puck drops at 7 p.m. at Bridgestone Arena. For tickets, visit NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800.
So the face-off with Mark Arcobello, who told you about his travels this NHL season. 4 different uniforms, Edmonton, Nashville, Pittsburgh, and now Arizona. Comes back for Stone. Ribeiro got a little bit of that. Taken off the right board. Stone sends it ahead. Time again. Now back for Ekman-Larsson. That deflected away. And the Predators quickly get it to Philip Forsberg.
Nice little up by Seth Jones after the Ekman-Larsson bid at the net.
Sent back up the board by Rene. Did not get all the way up there. as Philip Forsberg tosses away a drop stick. Wiseman Darren Gibbs picks it up. He's not trying to make a play. As that puck flipped right on, and Raine's able to hold on. 13:50 gone in the second.
Tough play here, and it gets the Preds scrambling. Cody Francen's trying to make a direct pass to Matt Cullen. Goes right up behind Cullen. Cullen never sees it. Arizona in transition back the other way. Fortunately, Gagne's shot comes from well out. Raine's able to seal off the short side, smothers it up to settle the group down.
Gagne against Cullen. Puck pulled out of the circle, given back. Gormley's shot. Rebound given up. Gagne has to go to the board to play it, however.
Raine reached for that shot. Gormley's shot, missed it. Ricochets off his pad and out. Fortunately, no Coyote able to grab that up.
And pulled away out of some skates by Josi. Off the linesman's skate at center. And then deflected away from Gagne. Shinneman comes back inside the line. Takes a hit from Bourque for his efforts. As the Coyotes change, it's Josi and Weber. And Weber had Beck going up the right side at center. Josi crosses center red. Dumps it in. Comes out high. Down the left wing side, Doan. Doan was trying to make a move there on Ellis. Got a shot away. Puck taken away and started back up by Colin Wilson. Wilson shoots in and follows. Bumps Stone very hard right in front. And that try there by Mike Fisher deflected up over the crossbar. Erat gets smoked there by Ellis. Shot deflects out of play from the right side. 15:03 gone. We are in the second period. And the Predators up on the Coyotes 1-0.
Referees hunting pucks here tonight. Colin Wilson does a great job of that. You're going to see him through neutral ice. Little chip in behind the defender. Great head of steam. He'll ultimately turn this puck over. Neal is down in close support. That sets up a little chance for Fisher. You like this action in the second period. Great play. Wilson, Neal in support. F2. F2 can be key in all that. F1 turns it over. You need somebody to collect it and make a play. That's what Neal does. Good look for Fisher.
Off the face-off win by Arizona. Doan chips it down ice. And this is where icing is waved off with Erat chasing down Weber. Josi had the cut in front of Cullen. A backhander towards Stahlberg. Broken up at Josi at the Nashville line. And it's Domingue stopping at the trapezoid. Looking to his right. Long pass came off the blade of Shea Weber's stick. Sending in Martin Erat. And that shot bounced away from Raine. He couldn't control that rebound or find it for that matter. Erat comes out of the corner. Now held there by Weber. And the puck slid over left side for Josi by Santorelli. Josi dropped it back. Cullen coming on. And a glove stop by Louis Domingue.
Chances at either end here. Really appeared to me that Shea Weber had Erat all locked up, at least stick on stick, but Erat's able to get that through clean. Good save by Raine. Ricochets out the far side. Marty Erat, 723 games, a Nashville Predator, 481 points. That stretch of time. Roman Josi down the other side, setting up Matt Cullen. Domingue is equal to the chance. Nice glove save.
Ekholm tracked by Moss. Arcabello down to the left wing side. Dahlbeck came on. And it is started back up the right wing for Smith. Smith versus Dahlbeck. Smith is backed up by Ellis.
Good recovery by Dahlbeck. Really appeared to me Smith had a full stride on him. Takes away the middle of the ice. Ultimately regains good defensive posture. Takes him to the wall. Turns the puck over.
Ellis to the center circle. James Neal comes in protecting the puck. Left wing side, it's Beck. Stone is all over him. Then Vitale tripped up as he got it to Crombie. Cody Franson in the corner. Seth Jones picks up the loose puck. Beck out with it. The play at the line as Bourque broke in. First he had Ekman-Larsson and then Stone in the puck at center ice, but it's on the stick of Seth Jones.
Could have made an argument for interference on Ekman-Larsson as he takes away the lane of Gabby Bourque trying to track down that chipped puck.
Domingue elected to give it back to his D. Wide of Vitale. Fisher. Nice collision there with Stone and the Predators' Colin Wilson. Up the left side. Backhand sweep at it by Reeder. In hard against Cody Franson there. Now Shinneman. Shinneman comes out right circle. Forced further out by Seth Jones as the puck was kept in by Andrew Campbell. Quick shot, and Rinne will pull in the rebound after giving up the rebound with 17:57 gone in the second.
Arizona with a good stretch of hockey inside the Pred zone. See a little exchange between the forward, the D, thrown down the far side to Reeder. Reeder cycles it back up, and then a quick little play at the net. You always worry about those bad angle chances. Quick little shot from Reeder.
To the blue line on the face-off win. Stone a try in the glove of Rinne. So this road trip for the Predators, 4 in a row in the Pacific time zone. Thursday night against Joe Pavelski and the Sharks. We'll join you at 9:30 Central on Fox Sports Tennessee. Saturday at 9 from Staples Center in Los Angeles against the Kings. And then we'll be joining you Sunday at 7 from Anaheim and the Honda Center against the Ducks.
You couldn't draw that one up any better geographically. Correct. Arizona hit Northern California, sweep south, and hit the two Southern California-based teams. All too rare it sets up that way, but you sure appreciate it when it does, Pete.
Yes, you do, especially after 2 separate trips to Metro New York in about 10 days.
Exactly. Exactly. And the Preds, too. The way this one sets up, arriving in Phoenix yesterday. We'll have a day off tomorrow. Practice Tuesday and then transition over into Northern California to play San Jose, as you say. But a nice opportunity to kind of use Phoenix as a headquarters here and get some needed rest, I think, for the group. It's been a busy stretch of games through February.
Puck swept off that face-off by Wilson, but cleared out by the Coyotes. Jay Weber checking out the traffic. Chipchura behind the net. Drilled over onto the right side. Yossi, and there's a try by Dahlbeck, but the Predators' Yossi starts them back out. Wilson down the left wing. Yossi filling one lane. Quickly swooping in on that puck, James Neal. Dahlbeck's pass. And after he crossed center red, sent in by Captain Shane Doan. Chipchura with Doan in front. And that puck drifted wide in front of the Nashville net.
Chipchura has fooled Weber a couple of times on the forecheck. Changes the angle of attack or forecheck in on that puck first on 2 different occasions.
Chipchura with Shane Doan. Around the wall. Ekman-Larsson there. He got it low for Doan again. Chipchura watches as that was taken out from behind the net. And Bourque. Heavy hit there on the sideboard. As the puck tipped wide, going behind the net yet again, time again. Bourque working those boards hard, as he has been doing. Arcobello reached in, held in at the line. Down the wall with it, Andrew Campbell. Pulled away from McGinn. This has been a hard-working shift here for the Predators in their end as time runs down on the second period, with the Predators taking a 1-0 lead to the dressing room after 40 minutes of play. Coming up, we'll have On Thin Ice for you, an interview with assistant coach Phil Housley, and a look at highlights and stats. Predators in front, 1-0, out shooting the Coyotes in this game, 21-20. We head to the third period. Predators up 1-0 on the goal by Paul Gostad as we examine the stats after 40 minutes. Stu?
Shots are about dead even. No blood on the power play. You see scoring chances. Obviously evidence of a pretty tight contest. This one, a hefty margin in favor of the Arizona Coyotes. Face-offs won and tip it back the other way in terms of the hits. Nashville out hitting the host Arizona Coyotes by a pretty hefty margin. Victor Stahlberg leading the group in that respect, and Paul Gostad, Mike Fisher with 4 apiece.
43 attempts by Nashville, 45 by Arizona. As the third period underway, and that one tipped by Wilson on the feed from Fisher. Stone out to an open area at center. Neal got it back in the Coyote end.
No better way to start a period if you're up by a goal on the road, right out of the gates, draw one back, and the Preds are out of the...
Soft pass turned over in front. Chip Chura got it back after his initial was blocked. Dahlbeck gave it low. Spinning and firing that puck wide is Shane Doan.
All kinds of space for Shane Doan. Surveys his options, make a strong play at the net.
Chip Chura knocked down by Fisher, then heads to the Coyote bench. And the puck out of play here with exactly a minute gone in the period.
Talked about the early action right off the draws. Opening seconds, that's Fisher's shot, wheeled down to Colin Wilson. A nice little piece of that gets Colin Wilson. You like him coming out of the deep corner, pivots towards the puck, opens up, and just catches a piece of that Fisher shot. He is filtered in behind Roman Josi. Mike Fisher has to support the defender, able to create that chance as he does.
Gagne has been taking the draws for this line rather frequently. So Shinman goes to the side as the puck is dropped. Cody Franson. Cullen lobs it out over the shoulder of Stahlberg. Stahlberg, right side. Behind the net went Santorelli, but the puck passed over and taken out by Shinman. Deflected in wide on the left wing. Poke back out Stahlberg. Take it away from Cullen to the Nashville blue line. Ranson for Seth Jones. Gagne tried the center, deflects back, and that try then goes wide as John Moore tried to make a play with the puck. Stahlberg swept it. It was held in by Moore. Knocked down midsection of Franson. Ekman-Larsson to the corner, and turning in a shot at Rinne. May have felt it, but he didn't see it right away as Shinneman got the try.
No, unfortunately for Rinne, he's got it all sealed off down low. It's thrown through traffic. It ricochets once before it bounces off Rinne's left pad.
Coming on now, and that try taken away as McGinn was breaking in, the puck bouncing on it.
Solid defensive play, Matty Ekholm as he's taking the attack. McGinn back towards the Nashville net. Good block by Ekholm.
Forsberg banks it off the boards to center. Forsberg coming down the left wing side. Ribeiro and Forsberg trying to block the out. And skating it out, flipping it down the left wing side. Arcabello chases it in with Franson there. Onto the right wing side, tipped low. But it's put off the right board ahead of Craig Smith. Put onto the boards right side by Andrew Campbell. Behind the Nashville net.
Preds up 1-0, well into now third period action, but I'll tell you, there's no quitting these Arizona Coyotes. They continue to play with a lot of pace.
Each side, one shot on net here in the period. Beck overskates the puck low. Crombeen. He goes cross ice with it. Craig Cunningham, right-hand shot playing the left side. And Rinne gloves that, and now Crombeen wanted to get something started inside. And one of two Predators available if called upon.
2015-16 season tickets are on sale now. Place your first payment on next year's season tickets now and receive priority on 2015 Stanley Cup playoff tickets and 2016 NHL All-Star Weekend tickets. Season tickets start at just $15 per game. Visit NashvillePredators.com or call 615-770-7800 for more information.
Vitelli pulls the face-off back. Ekman Larsson's shot is gloved by Rinne.
Draw one straight back. Chance from Gormley off the left point side. Rinne sees all kinds of Coyote jerseys cycling towards the blue paint.
And they win another one to the Coyotes. Crombeen. Vitelli lost it as Gaustad continued to work after the puck. Josi on the right board. To center. Bork with it. Predators are able to tag up and clear. Turning back of the net, John Moore. Up the right side. Crombeen got a little piece of that. And it's Colin Wilson for Nashville. Tipped in by Josi, who goes off with a change. Turning, Shane Doan, Chipchura. Tapped away there. And held, though, by Doan. His shot tipped wide of the net. To the corner. Chipchura knocked down. He was looking for a penalty. Picks himself back up. Gets the puck. Chipchura spins. Franson stripped him of the puck. James Neal passes over. Colin Wilson couldn't hold it. Erat comes on. Erat to his left. The shot off the blocker of Rinne and fired off the boards by Fisher and off the skates of the linesman.
Strong chance. Terrific shot by Erat.
Doan trying for the redirect for Shinneman. Now Doan is down. Doan down in that circle to the left of Pekka Rinne. 4:49 gone in the third.
Trainer for the Arizona Coyotes will come out and tend to Shane Doan. Looks like we're going to get a penalty whistled on the play as well.
Number 18, Nashville, 4-minute high sticking.
Oh, injury to Doan, so he's cut somewhere around the face. See, he's holding a towel in the one hand, I think.
Let's take a look if we can.
There's right side of your screen right there. Neal comes down hard on the stick. Doan is the puck carrier. I think he's trying to dislodge the puck. Just at there you see it right there. He comes down on the hands and may have clipped Shane Doan up around the face. As he comes down on the hands, James Neal does.
So a double minor here for high sticking for the Predators to attempt to kill. Leading the game 1-0.
Remember, any time in a high sticking infraction, if there is an injury, that's a basis for the official to award an additional 2 minutes for the injury.
So Moore and Ekman Larsson. Ekman Larsson twists on the right side. And across to Ekman Larsson. His shot blocked by Josi. And Josi is shaken up a bit. Gaustad driving down. Trying to hit Weber coming in late. He had Bork breaking toward the net.
I'm not sure that's a play you want to make. Shea Weber is well covered. Gaustad checks up. Again, remember, Preds are killing the penalty at this point. Weber's covered. Don't make a play into that area. 50-50 play. Fortunately for the Preds, no harm, no foul.
Taken out. Ekholm across the line. His shot gloved by Domingue and dropped it off for Oliver Ekman Larsson. Brought back in by Seth Jones, shorthanded, turning against Stone. Stone ends up with the puck. Santorelli out as a penalty killer with Cullen. Shinneman carrying, shoveling back for Stone to Ekman Larsson. Stone looks left side. Back for Stone. Ekman Larsson right half court. Stone at center point. And that shot blocked across off Seth Jones. In front of the net is Reeder. A scramble off the rebound, off the right pad of Rene, and Santorelli is able to clear.
Terrific save, Pekka Rinne, perhaps his biggest of the game. I'll tell you, Reeder left all alone in front of the blue paint at the Nashville net. Great little follow-up opportunity. Rinne is huge.
Shane Doan, who drew this double minor on James Neal. The shot blocked out in front. Shaken up on that play is Gaustad as he struggles over to the Nashville bench and then off the pipe, shorthanded as Gabriel Bourque got a try.
What a terrific shot by Bourque. Backs up the D into the mid-slot, releases, beats Domingue, but not the post.
So into the second portion of this double minor, Coyotes had 2 shots in the first portion. Predators lead 1-0. A minute 32 remaining in the man advantage for the Coyotes. Ekman-Larsson comes off the right board. Left side and tipped into the net from in front. The play pretty much initiated by John Moore, and the Coyotes tied on the power play at 7:27 of the third period.
Well, it appeared to me as though this one might have been a bit of a broken play. There you see it, Ekholm trying to force that puck out. Turns over, little D-to-D play, thrown down diagonally. I think that goes off of Ekholm's skate in and around the front of the Nashville net. You can see there, slap pass. Clearly, that's not off the stick of any player, neither an attacking or defending player. Strange bounce, a ricochet right there from the mid-slot. And it goes up and over the shoulder of Pekka Rinne. Clearly completely fooled the Nashville tender.
We'll see how they award it, but it's a 1-1 game. They're giving Chip Chura the goal for the time being. That's his 4th of the year. So Moore gets a primary assist. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson gets the secondary assist to tie up this game. 7:52 gone in the third. Kyle Chip Chura tied it up. A power play goal at 7:27.
Give you a look at the tying goal for the Phoenix Coyotes. Battle on the wall. Matty Ekholm presses up, but it ultimately will go D-to-D. Stop right there, guys. You're going to see this puck. John Moore's going to throw it into the interior. Chip Chura's coming down the middle. It's going to ricochet off Chip Chura and in. And again, you see by Rinne's reaction, doesn't pick it up till too late. We're knotted at ones for that reason.
So the Coyotes, 3 shots on that double minor power play. And the Predators' James Neal offside. And they get that pass at the blue line.
Ekholm throws it wide to James Neal. James Neal, 1 of 4 20-goal men for Nashville. Comes over from Pittsburgh in a trade in the offseason. Hornquist, Spalling go the other way. A little over half a period left to play. Knotted at ones. Reds see their only lead of the game evaporate. Kyle Chip Chura. He's had a solid game for this group. We've said his name a bunch up here.
And Chip Chura goes in after the puck again. Up the left board. Wilson got it around E-Rat. Craig Smith lost it to Shane Doan. And then Yossi gave it to Smith to put it in behind the net. Domingue, which way is he going to go with it? Weber reading that. That bounces off the stick of Wilson. Forsberg coming in, forcing the play. And the puck, he loses. Chip Chura off the left board and drilled down the ice. And this will be an icing call against Andrew Campbell and the Coyotes as we re-examine tonight's goaltending matchup for you.
Louis Domingue, just his second NHL start. stopped 22 of the 23 that he's seen tonight. Pekka at the other end, 25 of 26 he has successfully stopped.
Off the face-off. Franson. Seth Jones carries in. Around Ribeiro. Turns with the shot. Got past everyone. And from the opposite corner, rolled behind the net for Ribeiro. Turning with it, Neal trying to get a shot. And Forsberg tried to flip it home. Forsberg for Seth Jones. Jones a shot. Knocked down Ribeiro. Ribeiro, the ex-Coyote, Neal the shot. That deflected away off Dahlbeck. Jabbed by Erat. Held in. Franson and across. Seth Jones. Fakes. Returns to Franson. He'll shoot. And that one held by Louis Domingue in the blue ice.
This is a healthy response from Nashville. You like this group. Watch Jones. That angle chance. Well taken because you got Forsberg, you got Neal in and around the net front, and then cycles down. Forsberg throws it out. Ribeiro to Neal with a quick little turnaround. Buzzing all the while is the Ribeiro line. Like that play.
To the left side of Domingue. Santorelli to attempt this one against Arcabello. Santorelli held up by Arcabello. Stahlberg on the puck. And losing that the time again.
That's got to go deep.
Turning now, Santorelli around Stone. Stahlberg comes in. Stahlberg shot took off on him a little bit. Ellis toward the net. That deflects wide. Ekholm comes down from the left point. Santorelli, his pass intercepted by Moss. Moss shovels it out in his efforts to get around Ekholm. Swept up the board. Stopped by Gormley. The errant pass taken away. Stahlberg steps in. He got stood up trying to go in deep by Gormley. To the center on the right wing, Crombeen. To the D-man Moore. Return to Crombeen. Dropped off, and that shot by Vitale deflects wide. Cunningham. And the play on the end board. Crombeen has it swept up the Predators' left side. And Wilson right onto the stick of Smith, who rolls it low. 9:08 remaining in the third. The game tied at 1 as the puck is backhanded out by Cunningham. Shea Weber takes it from Yossi. Turns around, his pass deflected, but then banked in deep by Wilson. Fisher after it along with Campbell. Trying to pull the puck away. And that pass intended for Jones goes all the way into the Nashville zone. Where Rene stopped it.
Smith collects that just cycling up under the Arizona goal line. Tries to find Jones, connect with Jones, but it's just off the backhand.
Neal, right corner. Forsberg there too. Ribeiro banks one to Franson. His shot misses to the short side. Rebound shoveled ahead. Stepping there was Reeder to get out of the big hip check. Attempted by Cody Franson. Franson's pass tipped in. Room for Ribeiro. Ribeiro goes behind the net, trying to give it up to Neal on the side. Neal jabs it back over for Ribeiro. Out for Seth Jones. Franson wrists one, missing short side. Rebound overskated by Ribeiro and sent back to center ice.
Play and pace being completely dominated by Nashville, stringing 3 shifts together. Ribeiro, Fisher, the Cullen line.
Chipchura put it on the board, and it's held in off the skate of Bork, which is going to result in a penalty. And 2 aside. There's going to be 1 aside, excuse me. I believe embellishment is going to be called here. At 12:13 of the period, each side getting a minor penalty. It's a 1-1 game. 4-on-4 hockey here with 7:47 to go. Joined now by the Predators bench by goaltender Carter Hutton. Carter had an idea this might be a struggle tonight. That's the way it's played out to this point.
Yeah, it's been tough. You know, they haven't really given up a lot of chances. You know, they're working really hard and strong. You know, they're missing some guys in their lineup, so they're getting some young guys in there to get a chance. And, you know, sometimes that's, you know, a desperate team. They're trying to make an impact here. And, we're working harder in the third here. We got a lot of possession time here, so this 4-on-4 hockey might open things up a bit for us.
And Carter, you hate that you lose a 1-0 lead, but I tell you, no better response than the Ribeiro, the Fisher line, the Cullen line. 3 shifts in succession right after. Momentum's all yours.
Yeah, that's what we needed. Here we get a chance here. Yost coming down, but
Well, just go ahead and call it if you like.
no, I think that's a huge shift for us too. Here's the big bomb here. Come on.
Here it is. And Domingue never saw that as it was blocked out. Now the two captains vying for the puck. Doan goes down. No penalty call there. And you had a very good view of that, Carter.
I did good. Not too many guys going to beat Webby back on the ice. He's a big man and he can move, that's for sure.
Carter, we thank you so much.
As always, thanks for having me, guys.
All right, the shot by Josi off the blocker of Domingue. Erat. Getting to the net was Moore, the defenseman, who started that play to tie the game on the power play.
You really get the sense that this one's starting to open up. Again, Arizona, very little to lose. Nashville determined to come out with nothing short of a victory.
Erat, puck on his stick, deflected off Neal. Dahlbeck, Neal blocked that. And Neal got the pass up for Mike Ribeiro. 4-on-4, another 39 seconds. Ribeiro booed as he broke in on the attack, the former Coyote.
Whatever for?
You always wonder, don't you? Here's Forsberg with a shot blocked. Rebound collected there by Arcobello. Ekman Larsson moving in with it. Ekman Larsson, a shot blocked by Ellis.
Well fronted by Ellis. Credit him. Good defensive position.
Shinneman at the blue line from straight away, tipped up over the crossbar.
Rene never saw it.
No. Did not have a chance of seeing that one. And now both sides get a player out of the box. Back to 5-on-5 skaters. Wilson ran hard into Stone.
Stiff ride from Stone.
And that puck goes out of play from inside the Coyote zone. 14:21 gone. Third period. Things are even up at 1 as the referees confer. Should that be a delay of game?
We suspected this might be the case as we go to break. 34, Dahlbeck. He's under all kinds of pressure from Gabby Bork pressing down. Opens up. He goes to chip that off the wall. Up over the glass from the defensive zone. That's a delay of game minor against the the Arizona Coyotes. Dang it, I knew I was going to do that once tonight. 5:39 left in the third. Tie match.
Let's go to our Chamberlain save of the game here. Erat breaking in his old teammate, Pekka Rinne. Our Chamberlain save of the game.
Nice little move to the inside. Seth Jones is tracking with him, but Doan gets in his way. Jones is forced to lay off, but Rinne comes up with a big pad save.
Shea Weber's pass tipped. Neal plays it low. I really thought that Pekka Rinne slammed the door down harder than that. Across for Weber to keep it in. Power play for Nashville. 5:18 remaining in regulation, a 1-1 tie. Josi and Weber, the blast, and gathered in almost nonchalantly by Domingue.
Joe Vitale lays down in front of that one as well. I mean, it never hits him, but boy, give him marks. Watch this, it'll cycle from side to side. I'll tell you what, there are lots of other ways preferred to position your body versus what Vitale just did. Feet first if you can, son. He went headlong in front of that shot. It never hit him.
Josi is shot off the glove of Domingue. Put onto the boards and around Weber.
Just off the tip of the glove. Domingue catches a piece of that Josi shot. Fortunately for Arizona, it leaks into the deep corner.
Predators 2 shots on goal so far in this power play. The pirouette from Josi staying away from Doan. Forsberg trying to get by 2 men, and the Coyotes clear it right on Pekka Rinne. A minute remaining on the penalty. The delay of game on Dahlbeck. Down the right side, trying to hit Wilson, cutting in front. Ribeiro hammered against the boards down low by Stone. Weber came down along the hash mark. Ribeiro banks it now, Josi. Weber from the tougher angle, wide of the net. And Ribeiro not able to keep it in.
It's a tough spot to miss. Weber looking to connect with Wilson.
Broken stick down there, and the backhander off the blocker as Smith broke inside.
Great bid, strong bid by Craig Smith. Backhand chance. Domingue, another big save.
To center, knocked down as Weber gives it to Wilson. 10 seconds remaining in this Tennessee Lottery power play with the game tied. Power play running down. No more shots. Predators managed a total of 3 with the advantage. 3:27 left in the third. Coyotes managed to get their way through killing off 4 Nashville power plays to this point. Ellis carries in. Down the right side to Stallberg. Tried to tip it home, went wide with it. Santorelli turned to the outside. There he ran right into the defender. John Moore was there to cover. Erat puts it in. On to the boards left side. Santorelli taking it against Dahlbeck. Santorelli down the right side. Chipchura follows up. Dahlbeck took a whack at it, but right into Santorelli. Stallberg the keep-in versus Reeder. And it's taken off the Coyotes' right side wall and cleared to center.
Good support by Stallberg as F3 tries to throw it over to Jones. Too far, out of reach.
Jones carries in, backhand wraparound try, and then a forehand tipped high and out of play. 2:22 remaining in regulation.
Good opportunity for Seth Jones here. Wide drive, comes around the backhand side, attempts the stuff, and then attempts to go short side. Up and over the net it goes. There's Ellis to Stallberg. Stallberg driving hard to the post. Gets a little redirect, and it's wide, and here's Smith on the backhand. There you see the Domingue shoulder save. Preds doing everything they can, throwing it at the rookie netminder. High-grade opportunity abounds, but Louis Domingue has stood tall for these Arizona Coyotes.
Arcobello won that draw, back to Ekman-Larsson. Backhanded away from the line. And it's Stone inside the Coyote line. Stone to Moss. Off the stick of Arcobello. Rinne reaches out. Goes to his opposite side, his backside there. Stone the keep in, and then off the stick of Rinne. Under 2 minutes remain in regulation. Game tied at 1. Moss taken out by the Predators bench by Fisher. Very determinedly so. Josi from the hash mark, stopped Domingue. Puts the paddle down to hold on. And now pushing and shoving, follow up in front of the Arizona net. Josi off the rush, creating something off the left side.
Smart play by Josi. See him wide, right side of your screen, bad angle chance. He throws it there because he knows Smith is going in that direction. Smith defended from the inside out. Smart play. See Domingue sealing it all off on the short side.
So it will be to Domingue's right. Predators have outshot the Coyotes 32-28. It's a 1-1 game. Forsberg and Neal. Forsberg gets the draw. Quick shot, misses to the short side. Ekman-Larsson ends up sending it back into the zone. It will be an icing call against the Coyotes as we go to our Bridgestone performance moment of the night. Back to the second period.
Taylor Beck can share in some of this Bridgestone performance moment along with Paul Gaustad. These two working together. Great forecheck, pushing it down towards the net. Gaustad wheels, bangs it between the legs of Louis Domingue.
As Matthias Ekholm put it in front. Neal with a try. That was blocked. Penalty call coming up here. It's going to be a penalty for a slash. with 83 seconds left in regulation. Predators get another power play here. Ekman Larsson's told to be quiet for the moment.
Well, these are the fruits when you're pushing the pace, as the Preds have been for most of the third period here. Sure, Arizona's had their moments, but it's been largely Nashville inside the offensive zone. And there you see Doan collapses down low.
So Moss gets the penalty.
Right, rather Moss collapses down low, and he actually breaks the stick. It's a slashing call on Moss. He breaks James Neal's stick.
And the Predators take their timeout here.
A wise time to utilize your only timeout. Preds with 1:23 remaining. It'll give Coach Phil Housley an opportunity to map out exactly what he wants to see. Coach Housley responsible for the power play portion of the special teams. He'll map out exactly what he wants to see from this group with the man advantage, with a minute 23 remaining in the game hanging in the balance. Key draw. Mike Fisher needs to win this back and allow the Preds an opportunity to set up clean inside the Arizona zone.
Fisher comes back to Weber. Now Fisher heads to the front of the net. Neal and Weber rotated. Now Neal goes to the front. Forsberg bothered by Chipchura. And it got through, but Neal could not hold it. It is cleared down ice by Andrew Campbell. Right on Pecorine, who sweeps it over for Forsberg. 1 minute remaining in regulation.
Good piece of killing. Arizona Coyotes, they pressure hard.
Yossi uses the net, protecting the puck from Shane Doan. 1-1 the score with 44 seconds left. Put up the board. Yossi comes over, stops it with the skate. The Nink shoveled it behind the net for Campbell. Weber keeps it in. Under 30 seconds left now in the third. Neal on the right side, Forsberg. Coming out in the high slot is Fisher. Neal to the side of the net. Weber with a shot, missing the net. Forsberg goes after the rebound, took it away from Campbell, but then it's stolen, and coming up the left wing side, Cunningham, and shovels it in the Nashville zone. 5 seconds remain. Weber with the puck. And they won't get a shot off. The power play will carry over to a potential 5-minute sudden decision overtime. Tied at 1 after 60 minutes in Glendale. The Predators and the Coyotes. It's 1-1 as we head toward a potential 5-minute sudden decision overtime. Keep in mind, 37 seconds left in the power play. A goal aside in this game. Paul Gostad in the second period at 3:26.
Gostad back working together. Great little play, turn around. Gostad just bangs a loose puck in third period action. There you see it pushed up the wall. It slides over D to D. This will be thrown down to the front. Ricochet off Kyle Chipchura as he's going to the net. About midway point between the two hash marks and a little bit south of there. Off Chipchura's skate and in. Rene never sees the bounce. That's why we're tied.
So 37 seconds to carry over on the power play. Coyotes go with Campbell and Dahlbeck on D. Vitale, the lone forward. Predators here. Yossi and Weber. Ribeiro and Forsberg up front. Underway now. Yossi pulls the puck back into the Nashville zone. Yossi steps right in. Forsberg cuts across, and that shot blocked. Forsberg with that quick release. Dahlbeck onto the board for Vitale. Couldn't clear it out. Still 14 seconds left on the advantage for Nashville. Ribeiro in tight. His pass deflected back. Weber gets it. Ribeiro, low right side. You'll see the shot, rebound given up in front, and the Predators not there to collect it. The power play has run its course.
Smart play by Ribeiro. Finds Yossi diagonally. Quick shot. Forsberg never sees it to get a piece of it. Domingue with a terrific save.
Back out to center. Moss is on with Chip Chura. Ekman Larson with Stone for Arizona. And the game's decided in the overtime periods this year. Predators 6-2. Coyotes 3-2. Ribeiro is shot, and Domingue able to see that, even though Smith was right in front of the Arizona netminder.
You know, we talked about the importance of traffic in and around the Arizona net tonight. Nashville's done a great job of that. Look at another terrific instance right there. Craig Smith in front, battling with Stone for net front position. Domingue has found a way to find it and has made the save in all but one instance.
Arcobello out for this face-off against Mike Fisher. Dahlbeck on now with Young. Smith sends it back for Ekholm, and that shot missing the net by Ryan Ellis.
This short side. Fisher busts the stick off the draw, has to go for a new tool.
Arcobello on up front with Erat. For Erat, it bounces back to Arcobello. He's on his backhand. Erat on the boards left side. Versus Ellis. Ekholm up the left board. Craig Smith backhands, doesn't get much on it. Dahlbeck stops it. Almost stolen cleanly away from Erat. Here's Fisher. Try to break in at the blue line. Fisher has to get back on side. Neal down the left wing. As they played a minute 55 of the maximum 5-minute period. Cody Franson, the move there, and trying for a redirect for Wilson. Missing that connection. Seth Jones with the try, and that blocked away. Neal and Colin Wilson. As the puck comes back up for Seth Jones. Jones brings in for Neal. Back to Seth Jones. Neal behind the net to Jones, and just missed it in front as well. Trying to put it in front for Wilson. Blocked! And falling down on top of Brett Wilson. Another try. And then a try by Neal. That one is stopped as well. You gotta be kidding me. Backed off the boards. Back to Jones. Jones cutting in. That shot blocked. And the rebound, Neal scores. The Predators get an overtime goal at 2:45 to break the losing streak after 6. 2-1. Predators take the win. But how many times was that game almost over before that shot?
I am at a loss for words to describe that shift. It really looked like Louis Domingue was going to keep the Preds off the board. Chance after chance after chance, and we're talking grade A-plus chances. James Neal thrown from the back of the net. Look at Colin Wilson. First shot, picks it out of the pile, and then Neal jumps down again after his initial bid. Franson pulls it out of the group. Jones is able to collect it. Franson will throw it back into Jones as he jumps down, and then James Neal, bang, in transition. Louis Domingue sprawling, trying to get there. I'll tell you what, that kid could not have played any better than he played here tonight. Credit Nashville for just being so dogged and relentless in the attack. They ultimately able to get one to go.
As they outshoot the Coyotes in the overtime, 6-0. They win the game 2-1. Neal with the winner.